I know you've talked about sort of where your own growth will come from, but, from where you're sitting, especially, let's say, advice to young people who are coming up, contemplating, that sort of Benjamin Plastics kind of advice you might give.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I would say the future will be more uncertain than it's ever been for any previous generation.
Thanks very much for that. Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. Right. But in terms of jobs, really hard to predict. I would suggest that learning agility is probably the most important thing. That's what we know for sure.
How does one learn agility? Like agile is its own.
I would say learning agility, which is basically what is your receptivity and capacity to learn new things.
And once you do that,
then try to pay attention to what you need to be learning, and hopefully you'll be kind of curious to go do that. I do think people have to kind of go where their passions are, because if you're not enjoying it, it's going to be hard to keep up with the rate of things that you need to learn. So doing something that you enjoy and that makes you happy. Oh, another thing too, by the way, emotional and mental health is super important. Think of how difficult it is to cope when you're not sleeping well, you don't feel loved and supported, you're not exercising, you're just full of stress. Taking care of your emotional and physical health, which to me largely is sleep well, eat, and be with people who love you. Stay off of all the hater sites and stay with people that you respect and who love you, because that's going to be how you keep energized to go through this learning process and do the best job.
But it does not impact the nature of what you're offering, is it? Are you finding yourself doing more content around that sort of wellness, mental health,
there's a lot of interest in that. Now, we often don't get paid. I mean, they take those courses for free, but that's fine. I think that's
your philanthropic side.
Absolutely. Dr. Laurie Santos at Yale, the #1 course on Yale they call it the happiness course on Yale. She put the course on Coursera. We call it the science of well-being. It's like 5 million people have taken this course. And I do think that physical and emotional and mental health is the fuel that people are going to need to do all this learning and change and just staying on your toes. And so I would say take good care of yourself and surround yourself with people who love you, find things that you're interested in, and be ready to keep learning. I'll say one other thing about leadership. And I understand this, but a lot of the people earlier in their career at Coursera and other places, they'll often say, tell me what I need to do to get promoted. That's fair when you're just starting in your career. But just like if you want to do really well on a sports team or do really well, in school, you don't just ask the coach, like, tell me exactly what I need to do.
You don't crowdsource excellence?
Well, you don't. And you also don't ask someone to tell you exactly how to be excellent. Part of leadership is charting a path that doesn't really exist in any clear way. And so I'd say young people who can say, I will develop my own point of view, I will be willing to take a risk and go someplace without someone telling me this is what you do to get promoted, or this is what you do to, I don't know what I need to do. I'm going to just go there. The value, I think, of leadership is going to be higher and higher and higher, because the uncertainty is higher and change is going to be more frequent. And so who will be the leaders that can say, without someone telling me where to go, this is where we're going to go, and we're going to find our way, and we'll do it together.
Emotional intelligence. Can't always get it online, but it helps. So thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.